Hi everyone. Today is Wednesday, February 27th, 2019, and I am 19 weeks, 4 days pregnant. Um just an update. Things are moving so quickly. I cannot believe it's almost 20 weeks. And what's 20 weeks? 20 weeks is what, 5 months? Like, that's insane. I'm sorry, that's insane. If you've watched any of my earlier videos and gone through the process and see when I started, to already being almost 20 weeks, this coming Saturday will be the first day of my 20 weeks. Like, it's still surreal to me. And it needs to start getting really real to me, because the reality is it is closer to being over than, not over, I guess. I mean, as I mentioned before, the current plan is for my doctor to induce at 38 weeks. So that gives me roughly 18 weeks. And of course, it could happen a little earlier than that. So let's just assume we go out to the 38 weeks. It gives me 18 weeks. So I'm more than halfway done personally. A little more than 18 weeks. I'm not quite 20 weeks, but I'll be 20. I mean, I'm rounding up. So, basically 20 weeks. Next week on March 6th, I have my anatomy scan. And on March 7th, I have my fetal cardio thingy I've been telling you guys about, because the heart defect, or the congenital heart defect that I was born with, that hasn't caused me any problems and has resolved itself. They just want to make sure that everything's good with the baby. But yeah, this is flying by. It's scary. Everything about it is scary. It's like, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And yes, I am a 36-year-old woman. I am not 25 or 16 or any of that. But I had no idea. You would think I would have had a better idea. I mean, let's just think about some of the things. The cost of a baby. You know how many diapers a baby goes through, a newborn? And then I guess beyond that, right? Because roughly the first 2 years, they're in some sort of diaper at least. And I mean, I was reading, and I do not a lot of it, because sometimes I feel like it gets you a little paranoid, or for me, it can get me like thinking about things or worrying about things, or like feeling like maybe I'm not doing, should I have done this? Did I not do that? So I read and try to, understand that this is my process, and my experience may not be the experience of people who have written these things on these blogs. But, I was reading that a newborn can go through up to 12, or roughly 12 changes a day. And I think that was on average, actually, not up to, but on average 12 changes a day. So maybe some days 10 and some days 14, but that's insane, right? I mean, this is my first. So yes, that's insane to me. So that tells you that, I was looking at a box of Pampers, and I guess that's the most expensive brand, or one of the most expensive brands. And it was like a box of 120 something for like 50 something dollars on Amazon. So, yeah, we will probably be doing Loves or something like that. I know Loves is one of the more economical brands. I don't know how well they work versus Pampers versus Huggies versus, Mother Earth, or whatever other brands are out there. But that's insane. Like, you think 120 or 200 might last you a really long time, but I guess not if you're changing constantly like that. So I don't know. I guess, assuming I am not in an insane asylum, I will update you through that process once the baby gets here. But it's just, this is crazy. The cost of a baby is crazy, from the cribs to the strollers and the do you need a crib and a bassinet, or will you do both? Are you doing a nursery right away? Our plan isn't to do a nursery right away. We're going to put the bassinet or a crib in our room for now. Even though we do have 2 spare bedrooms, we're going to do that because the spare bedrooms are on a separate floor. So it's not ideal, I guess, because we'll have to run up and down the steps for changings and things like that. So didn't really think about that when we bought the house. It was more so, we bought what we liked and not really thinking about, is this going to be convenient for a baby? But anyway, so I don't plan to do a nursery right away, so it gives me a little more time. Plus, I do not know the gender, and I do not plan to know the gender. It makes it hard for decorating a nursery. But you can put the basic things in there, like a basic color crib, white, gray, brown. I mean, they come in other colors than pink and blue. So, you could put other colors in there and then add your things later. And in my case, where I probably won't have a full nursery done right away, it gives me the opportunity. I mean, I'll know the gender by that point, but I do not plan to know the gender until the baby is born, which is crazy, apparently. I mean, it's the way it used to be done, but like everyone finds out the gender now. So the fact that I'm not interested in knowing the gender, I do not want to do a gender reveal, I do not want to know, is really odd to people. And I'm really hoping that the doctors and the ultrasound techs do not slip up and tell me, because that has already almost happened. And as I said, I have the ultrasound on the 6th, and I'm hoping I'm going to go in and say to the tech, like the first thing I go in and say, don't tell me the gender. Do not, if you want to refer to it as him or her or him or baby or little one, whatever, but do not tell me the gender, because I do not want to know, and that's my right? So yeah, so I think my husband may know based on a slip up that could have happened earlier, but he says he doesn't know. So I don't know. He does tend to refer to the baby as a female, but then he'll say she, he, things like that to try to play with me or whatever. So I don't really know what the gender is at this point. I'll have names picked out either way. I'm even going to buy two take home outfits from the hospital, a female and a male, just in case. It won't have any name on it, but just a cute outfit, so a going home outfit. And, one just won't get used. If I can't return it, then maybe I'll gift it or keep it for a next one, if there's a next one, because pregnancy is something you can't describe to someone, and because you don't know what theirs is going to be like, and you can't prepare yourself for until you're actually doing it. So I don't know if I have another one in me. We'll have to see. Not today. I mean, women have babies in their 40s. I don't know if I'm going to wait into my 40s to do another one, but that's if there is another one. So we'll see. So I also wanted to talk about cord blood preservation. Now it's not something I've done, but it's something or clearly it's not something I've done because I don't have a baby yet, right? But it's something I'm looking into. I spoke to my doctor about it during my last visit, and she said if you can afford the extra cost, that it may be, something good to have, but it's not really something that they push like that, at least not where I'm going. Now, just for those of you who might not know, that's when you preserve the blood from the umbilical cord. They have some collection kit, and they'll collect it for you, and then I believe it has to be stored and frozen or something like that. But this is in regards to stem cells. And my doctor said it's highly unlikely that you will use the cord blood or the stem cells for that child. Oftentimes, if you go on different websites, and there's CBR, which I think stands for cord blood registry, or I don't know what it stands for actually. I think it stands for cord blood registry. They actually do a giveaway or something where you can enter weekly to win a free cord blood banking, which they say is like a $1,650 value. So that gives you an idea of how expensive cord collecting and banking cord blood can be. I don't know if that's the complete cost of it or if there's additional costs, but they say that if you won their little sweepstakes thing, it's a $1,650 value. Again, I don't know if there's additional costs if you don't win the sweepstakes, but you still want to go forward with it. So stem cells have been controversial in the news, and stem cells have a lot of different uses. The way that, based on what I've been reading, the way that they say you use it is that you can use it for your own, you can use it for that child because it's that child's blood, and so they use it. Stem cells are cells that I believe, and again, I'm not a doctor, you may want to look it up yourself, but that can be used in different parts of the body. So it's not like a kidney cell or a liver cell, like it's cells that can become other cells, which are why they're more generic cells, if that's a way to describe it. So they're very helpful in that way because they can be used in different ways. But my doctor said it's very unlikely that you will use it for your own child. And if you go on the website, like the different websites, they can tell you the different diseases. There's a host of different, like all types of cancers and blood disorders and various other things that could come up, that you can use these stem cells or the cord blood for to help try to cure or treat or however it works. It also could be used for siblings. And I think there are various uses. But the thing is, there are still limited uses as of today. But who knows what the uses will be 10 or 15 years from now. So, or 20 or whatever. So I don't even know how long stem cells last. I don't know if they could be frozen indefinitely or if they have an expiration point. But as technology, medical technology and science and all of that, advances, there could be more uses for it. So you could just be spending the money and banking it and never use it and maybe donate it to science at some point. Or you could be having a use for it that is not something that we're aware of today. So I guess it's something to consider. The only thing about it is that if you don't bank it at delivery or birth, you can't get it later. Like it's a one-time shot type thing. And so I'm debating whether that's necessary. I like the idea if it can be helpful. But that's the thing. I don't know if it can be helpful or not. I mean, if it could be used for other family members or something, that's great. My mother is blind, and my thought was like, oh, wow, I wonder if there's any way to use stem cells to help her regain her sight. And so for her blindness, her current situation, I don't think there is, but for people with macular degeneration, it has been, and they have successfully used stem cells to help them regain their sight. So part of me feels like maybe if I go ahead and collect it and we bank it for a while, who knows, maybe they'll advance and she'll be, I don't know. It's a lot of pressure on stem cells. But it would be nice because I would really love for her to be able to see the baby, so because right now she can't. So it would be great if, like a miracle, if she'd be able to actually see the baby, and that would be tremendous. So I think about things like that. But with that said, I still don't know if I'm going to do it because you could be banking it for nothing, right? It may not be useful. Another thing I've been thinking about, and I did mention this before, is a doula. My doctor said that she thought doulas were good if you were going to do natural childbirth. I have decided, ladies, I am not doing natural childbirth. Nope, I don't care. Anybody says I'm going to try it with an epidural or whatever type of drugs they got going today. And and it's funny because that is not how I am. I do not take pain medication. I normally ride through the pain. When I had menstrual cramps, I never took pain medication regardless of how bad they were. But listen, we are in a whole new ball game, and I'm going to do things differently. And so I'm going to try the medication. If it doesn't work, no harm, no foul, right? Because I'm going to be in a situation I would have been in had I not tried the medication, I feel. So I'm going to try the medication. And that's just where I am. So, from my understanding, doulas aren't as necessary at the birth if you're not doing a natural child birth or whatever like that. So, doesn't mean it can't be helpful, because I know some doulas will come after delivery to help and to help you get situated and with breastfeeding and all that stuff. Another thing I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do, which I've already discussed based on my breast reduction several years ago. So, but yes, so, a lot of things are up in the air. I have absolutely nothing prepared. I have purchased nothing. We've done nothing. Just like to be blatantly clear, nothing. Like, we've gone in some stores. We've looked online a little bit. We've done things like that. Nothing has been purchased. I thought about buying a box of diapers yesterday when I was on Amazon. But then I thought, who knows how big this baby will be. So, I think newborn diapers may be up to 14 pounds, or that's what I was seeing roughly. So I can't imagine this baby is over 14 pounds. Oh, Lord. I might not, maybe a good 7 pounds. But, there's a limit. There's a size limit to these things. So I didn't want to get like a couple of boxes and then the baby, have extras and waste them, because I'm trying to be as economical and smart about this as possible. So I think I'll wait a while for diapers. But there are other things that are necessary, maybe a breast pump. I think you can get those free through your insurance, actually. Haven't looked into that yet. Definitely a car seat, because won't be bringing baby home without it. Yeah, so, but, I think those will be, well, I don't know, everything. You need everything, so I don't know what comes first. No, the car seat is the first thing you need, because you can't bring the baby home. Even if you have nothing else. But then you're going to need a whole lot of other things immediately thereafter. So yeah. So as I already mentioned, I am overwhelmed. And this is moving so quickly, So I don't know. This morning, as I was taking the train into the office, I was thinking to myself, I was like, I wonder if we can just put the baby in one of those travel crib things, like the pop-up ones, until we figure it out. I don't know, is that horrible? I mean, they have some really nice ones that you can wash and they put in a washing machine, and you can move from room to room. They're the ones that if you're traveling, you can pop. Listen, I mean, not forever. I was just wondering if that was a good, temporary solution. I don't know. I know I'm horrible, but anyway. So I'm also starting to understand that I need to look for a pediatrician now. So yeah, I don't know. We'll start that. Supposed to start interviewing them and going to go see them, I guess. I don't know what I'm supposed to ask. I'm sure there's stuff online on what you're supposed to ask when you're interviewing pediatricians. I'm just like, I'll have a newborn. Do you do newborns? Do you know how to take care of newborns? I don't know how involved this is, but, I need to interview pediatricians or start finding a pediatrician. I know you need to have one, or at least that's my understanding, is you need to have one when the baby's born. So, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. But I don't have any of that yet. So if you're like me and you are in a similar stage of your pregnancy and you don't have anything yet, then don't feel bad, because we're in the same place. And if you have everything already, or you're well on your way and you're further along in this, or you're more prepared, let me put it that way, than me, then hey, you're ahead of the game, at least as far as I'm concerned. So you should feel good about yourself. I think the last thing I want to talk about briefly is Braxton Hicks. So I heard that it can start from anytime in your 18 weeks. Now, again, I'm almost 20 weeks. I have not felt the baby kick move or yet really, but I explained that my doctor said that that's probably pretty normal. That is pretty normal, and that for me it might also be a little longer just because the way that my baby is situated behind the placenta. So my baby kicks the placenta, which clearly I don't feel because the placenta is there and the baby, it's like on top, the baby's behind it or whatever. So it kicks and hits the placenta if it's when it's kicking or hitting and moving. So I don't really feel any of that because of that buffer. But Braxton Hicks apparently is a tightening, like it's like fake contractions, your body preparing yourself for labor, which can start as early as 18 weeks, which I think is crazy. And I don't know if I've actually had it, but I have felt like this tightening in my lower abdomen, and from my understanding, that is what it feels like not a pain, just like a tightening, and then it'll let up. And so that is my understanding what Braxton Hicks feels like. And if that is the case, and I have had that off and on occasionally, nothing major, not constantly, just every once in a while, it'll be like this tightening for, I don't know, 30 seconds or something. I never actually timed it, but it'll be a tightening and then it'll let go or release. So I do feel that. And, has anyone else felt that? I just think that's interesting to be so early into this, into your body to already start this. I'll tell you, the female body is amazing. Of course, you always know as a female we're amazing, but even more, whatever amazing I thought we were before is even more amazing because your body knows what to do. It's just like your body's like, okay, now we do this, now we do that, now we do this. It's because I have no idea what to do, so it's not like I'm telling it what to do. I'm just finding out what it's doing as it does what it's supposed to do. So it's just pretty amazing. And I'm just curious, is anyone else experiencing what I think is Braxton Hicks at this point? Or had they? And how early did it start for you? So just curious. But that's really it for now. Always would love to hear from people on their experiences and what their thoughts are. If anyone can talk me off the ledge with how overwhelmed I am and underprepared, that would be great. But it's okay. I'm dealing with it. And like I said, this is 19 weeks, so I will definitely update you. I'm planning to update after I have the anatomy scan on the 6th, or maybe the cardio test on the 7th, but somewhere around there. I just want to let you guys know whatever how that turned out, and where we're going from there. But until then, enjoy the rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks.